Ashley with Prestige Curb Appeal. We do residential and commercial pressure washing. We do everything from roofs, houses, and driveways. Commercial-wise, we do shopping centers, parking lots, everything, you name it. It really helps and makes you feel good and increases the property value. Give me a call, 865-621-1004. We'd love the opportunity to give you a quote, come out and see your house, even look at your driveway.
All right, good morning. It's Thursday. It's 6:06. Sorry, running a couple of minutes behind here. I was tracking those storms over into Middle Tennessee and also Southern Kentucky. We've already had tornado warnings all night long. A big tornado outbreak yesterday across parts of West Tennessee. And listen, my friends, it is so far from over. We still have several more days of severe weather in the same location that saw severe weather yesterday. And so that's something that we're going to continue to monitor. Of course, if anybody has any travel plans westbound on Interstate 40 or northbound on Interstate 75 here today, tomorrow, let's go even Saturday, keep in mind, download the East Tennessee Weather app, scan that QR code, and of course, you'll be notified of all severe weather around your area, no matter where you may be traveling to. So I want to start you off first things first with a check of the radar recap. This is over the last 3 hours. You can see a slew of warnings that are hanging out. Now, we've had a lot of tornado warnings. A lot of those have been now transitioned over to severe thunderstorm warnings. But again, this is the story. The atmosphere is primed. Now, I've been fielding some conversations already on social media this morning saying, listen, this is not going to do a big push all the way through East Tennessee. This is actually going to stall out and then lift its way northward, at which point we probably just don't see a whole lot of storms or even rain. But we are still under a risk for some severe weather across parts of the Cumberland Plateau and southeastern Kentucky. So we'll be walking you through that forecast coming up here in just a second. How about that wind yesterday? Was it not insane? The wind was insane yesterday. I wanted to show you a cool time lapse. This is from Fox Road Marina. And watch this time lapse because you'll be able to see how these storms are really going to continue to not the storm, but the wind really started to ramp up across the area. Look at that. Isn't that insane how the wind just started to totally ramp up throughout the afternoon and evening hours? I'm just trying to send out a push alert here, folks. I don't think I sent that out yet. We're just going to send out a little push alert, letting people know that we are doing a live broadcast here this morning. All right, so that was the day yesterday. Now as you take a live look at Fox Road Marina this morning, camera's bouncing around a little bit, but not too terribly bad. The story here this morning, have you been outside yet? Have you been outside yet? Because you're going to walk outside and be like, wait a second here. It is April 3rd. I recommend some iced coffee this morning due to the fact that temperatures are incredibly warm, all ready to get the day started. All right, let's move right along. Let's talk about the forecast. We'll take you back to the state view. This is across the state of Tennessee. You can see all those tornado warnings through the last 3 hours. So there's our frontal boundary. So Davidson County, Nashville's gotten a slew of tornado warnings all the way down towards Columbia, Lawrenceburg. Now, tornado watches continue here this morning through about another hour or so. So this is all going to continue to weaken and lift its way northward through the day today. Good morning, Alex. How are you this morning? All right, here we go. So your 3-hour radar recap here. Now, again, we did have a tornado warning for Laurel. Let's see, what was it? McCreary, Whitley, Laurel County, Kentucky, something like that. Now, I know for folks do join us from Kentucky. I've had a lot of folks reach out saying, hey, why don't you cover Kentucky? Well, I can't cover everybody, right? I'm East Tennessee Weather. We do try to highlight Kentucky as much as possible, if and when we need to, for sure. And I apologize if you do follow me from Kentucky that we just don't cover all of Kentucky. All right, here we go. So not much activity. Now, Fentress County, seeing a little bit of shower and thunders to shower activity. And that's really the story. Is the Storm Prediction Center has just kind of clipped the Cumberland Plateau. We talked about this yesterday. Yesterday, if we were to get some sort of lift in the atmosphere, we had so much wind, so much spin in the atmosphere, we would have gotten a severe thunderstorm, but that just didn't happen. We got a lid on the atmosphere, a cap. All right, so mainly dry today with near record highs. Yes, it's going to be hotter today, just plain hot today than what it was yesterday, and we're going to continue with those gusty winds. Near record highs continue all the way through Saturday. It's going to stay on the windy side. And then as we get into our Sunday, that frontal boundary finally makes a push across the state, brings us some heavier rain showers. At this point of the game, I'd say Sunday morning, probably through mid-morning, which may kind of limit our daytime heating for the day. And then that is going to draw in some colder weather. Do I dare say frost? It's going to get a little frosty out there, my friends, by next week. So hopefully you didn't happen to plant your gardens too early. I hope you didn't do that. Sheila says, good morning. Will it be safe to travel I-75 north today? You definitely need to stay on top of the weather situation, Sheila, because, and I'll show you the risk and I'll walk you through the futurecast. So give me just a couple of seconds. You'll get an idea of how these storms are going to be playing out. It is going to be lifting its way northward and then kind of weaken. And then we're going to get more rounds and rounds of showers and thunderstorms. So stick with me. I've got you covered. Sheila, good morning, Otto. How are you this morning? Your shirt and tie are very appropriate. Dogwood colors. Well, yeah. Well, we're going into, is it dogwood winter next week when we get the colder air? Is it redbud winter? We'll have to go dive in the deets on that for sure. Will the pop-ups in Gatlinburg today be tornadic? No, I'm not really expecting any pop-ups at all, to be honest with you. If we see something that's going to be closer to the plateau, the northern Tennessee-Kentucky border, I think most areas stay quiet and dry. I'll show you the Futurecast suites. So hold on for that here in just a second. Let's see. Good morning, Seth. How are you this morning? Got the day started at the hospital once again. It's kind of wash, rinse, repeat, my friend, isn't it? What a good day for what a good day, good sir. Have a blessing day. You too, my friend. Thanks for what you do each and every day. You're welcome. All right, so let's move right along and talk about the forecast. So this morning's temperatures, as I mentioned, if you haven't stepped outside yet to let the dogs out or even head off to work this morning, look at these temps. These are temperatures. These are current conditions. And we're in the 60s and 70s. We're actually technically above our average high for this time of the year. By 10 degrees, actually, officially at McGee Tyson Airport, which puts most areas 5, 10, 20, nearly 30 degrees warmer than what we were yesterday morning. It's warm. All right, so we had this risk yesterday. This risk continues today into tomorrow. Again, just kind of clipping the Cumberland Plateau. Now, isolated in nature, if this were to happen at all, kind of like this morning, we had some into southern Kentucky, and so that's what we need to watch for. So let me walk you through our future cast. Again, we've got a couple of showers already across parts of Fentress County this morning. The main line's over into Middle Tennessee right now. But watch how this just kind of stays to our north. Now, again, getting into late morning, early afternoon, notice Fentress County, Scott County, McCreary, Whitley County, Kentucky. That line of showers and thunderstorms is going to continue before it kind of progresses northward. And there we go. After the noon hour, it starts to lift its way northward. So I would say our greatest risk, if we were to see anything at all in that risk area, would be from now through about noon. As we get into the afternoon, can't rule out an isolated stray shower, but I'm not expecting a whole lot of activity. Just keep in mind that it is going to be mostly dry today for most areas of East Tennessee. The Cumberland Plateau, the northern Cumberland Plateau, has the best chance or threat anyways for chance for rain and threat for severe. And if anything does fire up, we just have an atmosphere conducive of producing severe weather. That's just the way it plays out. But as I mentioned yesterday, listen, we got to have all the ingredients. You can have all the ingredients to make a cake, but if you don't have an oven to actually cook the cake, you're not going to get a cake. That's the way the atmosphere is playing out here today. High pressure, we got a lid on the atmosphere. And so unless and when I say a lid on the atmosphere, let me explain that for just a second. We have caps in the atmosphere. It's warmer air sitting above the warm air that we already have in place across the lower elevations, right at the surface. It's a cap. It's a lid. It's like a pot of boiling water. If you have a lid on a pot of boiling water, where does that water go as it's splashing around? It doesn't go anywhere. It hits the cap, it hits the lid, and can't go any further. But if you take the lid off, what happens? Now that boiling water starts to splash everywhere, and the steam starts to rise, and that's exactly how the atmosphere works. All right, so we still have a high wind warning in effect this morning. I believe that's in effect until 11 o'clock here this morning. Yeah, 11 o'clock there. Wind advisories on the outskirts of that for Monroe. In Upper East Tennessee is in effect until 8 o'clock this morning, but it has been rather breezy and gusty, and it's going to stay that way throughout the day today. What's up with the cold temps coming back next week? Yeah, you ain't kidding. It's going to get cold. Pull out the winter coats next week. We'll highlight that with your 7-day. So it is going to be rather breezy and gusty again here today. Then the wind starts to relax a little bit tomorrow. But again, the wind's going to be with us for the next couple of days. Look at these lunch. Who wants to grab a patio? Anybody want to go have lunch together? By the way, the radar that you're seeing in the top of the screen, I don't want folks to get caught off guard here. That actually is in Nashville. That's in Nashville. That's the Nashville. Okay, there we go. I'll just put that on the screen there. So you were looking at the radar probably going, oh, that looks ominous and gross. No, that's in Middle Tennessee. And just south of Nashville right now, we do have a tornado warning currently at this point of the game. So I just wanted to keep you posted. That is not for us here in East Tennessee. I should probably just switch this view over to us in East Tennessee. There we go. Then you have a better idea of how that's all playing out for folks that may be just joining us. All right, so lunchtime temperatures will be the 70s, pushing close to 80, and we're talking near record high temperatures today. The forecast high temps will top out in the low, mid, and upper 80s. Weather Service says was also even talking about the fact that maybe we could have temperatures pushing close to 90 degrees across the Southern Valley. And the records for this date in history, I just had them on the screen. I can't find them right now. But the records, we're talking near record high temperatures today, and we'll do it again tomorrow. So if you happen to have baseball games here tonight, soccer games, practices, it's going to be much better than what is on Tuesday. Tuesday was chilly. Once we got into the evening hours, tonight, not so much. My kids were asking me yesterday. My kid always asks about the weather, right? He's like, hey, what's Dad's app say? Hey, open your East Tennessee weather app, Dad. Let me see what the app says. I said, shorts and T-shirts. Well, okay, I want to see, Dad. He always goes to the day part. Good on you, Caden. Always checking in on the East Tennessee weather app. All right, 84 by 6, 79 degrees by 8 o'clock tonight. We were sitting on the front patio talking to our neighbors last night, and it just felt so nice outside. It's like, I don't want to go inside and go to bed. All right, so this trough ridge pattern continues, and that's the story, right? So with this trough ridge pattern, nothing really changes in the short term anyways. So watch this. Low pressure continues to dig across the four corners. High pressure hangs strong across the southeastern U.S. That's what's bringing us the heat. And the battle zone is going to continue to be from Texas to the upper Midwest until finally this trough starts to break down that ridge of high pressure and it moves its way on in. Yeah, no kidding, Dwayne. You ain't kidding, my friend. Wow, it is warm outside. No sleeves required. There we go. Good morning, Seth. All right, buddy. All right, here we go. So as that trough swings through, that's what's going to provide us with rain showers as we get into our Sunday. So here's your severe weather risk. We're going to start with severe weather, then we'll switch over to rain, and I'll got your 7-day forecast. But not nearly the risk that we had yesterday. Thank goodness for that. We had a level 5 tornado outbreak. But from Little Rock to Memphis, same locations. That got the tornado outbreak yesterday, the severe weather, the heavy rain, and that's going to continue all the way up into Kentucky, Nashville, and into the nation's capital. Kind of scoots its way back a little bit further to the west on Friday, Saturday time frame, but Little Rock and Memphis still, and Paducah, St. Louis still in the bullseye for seeing some strong or severe thunderstorms, and it doesn't stop. We'll do it again Saturday into Sunday. Same location. Why? Trough ridge pattern, stuck pattern, jet stream racing, cranking across the midsection of the country. Then as this all pushes eastward, it weakens, and we have a risk for some strong thunderstorms to our south. Nothing here in East Tennessee, but wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple strong thunderstorms as we get into our Sunday morning. It kind of depends on the timing. If we get the storm Sunday morning, probably not going to get a lot of severe weather. We'll just get heavy rain and some strong gusty winds. If it's a little bit later in the day, we'll add a little bit of instability to the atmosphere, and we have a better chance of seeing some isolated strong to severe storms. So let me walk you through the futurecast here. I'm going to start you off with the 3-kilometer high-resolution in-house model. And this will stop on Saturday. Then we'll switch over to the the lower resolution 15-kilometer in-house model. But again, look at the storms. You'll watch how this lifts its way northward. Okay? So most of this activity lifts northward. So we are still under that risk for strong thunderstorms from West Tennessee, middle, into parts of Kentucky. Then as we go from Thursday into Friday, look at all the storms that are going to continue to race across the upper Midwest. We get a lull in the activity on Friday morning across much of our region. And then Friday into Saturday, here it goes again. It's going to start to ramp back up Friday evening from Missouri to Arkansas and back into the Mississippi River Valley as we go from Friday night into Saturday morning. Incredibly rough weather for those folks out there. And by the way, latest reports I heard was 1 person died and 10 injured from the tornadoes yesterday. If that's all we saw, that is incredible. That is incredible. I was watching some live coverage yesterday from Arkansas, just outside of Jonesboro. I posted on social media. I think I did. Well, maybe I didn't. But anyways, incredible large wedge tornado just outside of the Jonesboro, Arkansas area. It was on the ground forever. They had live video of this storm from the storm chasers. And I was measuring the debris ball on that. It was like 2.5 miles long and 1.5 miles wide. The debris ball, that's stuff on the ground being lofted in the atmosphere, buildings, fences, power lines. cars. It was insane. All right, so now let's switch over to the lower resolution, the 15-kilometer forecast. Obviously, you can see how it doesn't have the resolution that the 3-kilometer does, but it gives us the general idea. More storms Saturday afternoon, Saturday night to our west. So again, if you have travel plans to the west along Interstate 40, make sure you stay weather alert here over the next 3 or 4 days. Then it finally starts to push its way eastward. Saturday is going to be great. Sunday, probably not so great. I think heavier rain is going to set up shop. How much rain are we talking about here locally? Probably one to maybe 1 to 2. But the heaviest rain, as we've been mentioning over the last few days, if you've been with me, additional rainfall from what we've already seen over the last 24 hours is going to continue to be another 5 to 7 inches in the bullseye along the Mississippi River Valley into West Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky, Arkansas, Missouri. Just insane. All right, let's dive into the details on that 7-day forecast. Here we go. It's going to be near record high temperatures today through Saturday locally. Gusty and breezy all the way through Saturday. Heavy rain expected on into our Sunday. Everybody's getting wet then. And then colder weather with, look at that, frost developing. Maybe Tuesday, but more likely on Wednesday. And as I mentioned, pull out your winter coats. We're going to be in the 50s for highs and 30s for lows. I'm just the messenger. Just letting you know that. I don't know, yesterday felt incredibly warm. Today, tomorrow, Saturday, it's going to feel incredibly hot because our bodies aren't acclimated to it. So something to kind of keep in mind. If you are going to be working outdoors, now, of course, we're not in the heart of summer, but these are midsummer. These are the middle of summertime temperatures. We don't quite have the humidity that we typically do in summertime, although we do have a lot of humidity because we have dew points that have climbed into the 50s and 60s. So, yeah, it is still muggy outside. So keep in mind, if you work outside, if you plan on doing outdoor activities, listen to your body. We're not acclimated to this heat yet, so if you start to feel a little nauseous, make sure you drink extra water. Sun angle's not too terribly high yet. We're not in the middle of summer, so Sunburn City necessarily isn't there. Sunburns for sure, but not Sunburn City, if you will. All right. Let's go to the chat and see what everyone's doing this morning. Let's see. I'm out on my porch. I like cool mornings. It is not cool outside. It is too warm already. Well, just wait until next week, Robert. Good morning, Amy. How are you? My parents are driving back from Nashville today around noon. They have the app. Do you think the threat of tornadoes will still exist? Nothing like what we saw yesterday, Amy. I think it's going to calm down. If they're coming back from Nashville, they should be fine. I think we're going to still see those rain showers and some thunderstorms. But as we heat up the atmosphere, that's when we're really going to start to see things kind of ramp back up. But, of course, they have the app, and they'll stay notified, of course, as well. Good morning, Stephen. How are you this morning? Still waiting to hear from your family in Memphis to see how they fared during the overnight hours. I hope everybody fared okay. Watching those tornadoes yesterday live on TV was just insane. You're welcome, sweets. Good morning, Jerry. How are you from Talbot? I think it's dogwood winter. Somebody said the redbuds were blooming, though, as well. So, I don't know. Right around this time of year, Dogwood Festival, right? Good morning, John. How are you this morning? Everyone say good morning to John. He is the sponsor of the morning Prestige Curb Appeal. They did our house as well. He did a reel for him. It was awesome. All right, what about the Greenville area? Everybody's doing just fine. So, again, I really wouldn't be worried about severe weather here around East Tennessee. I wouldn't worry about, for the most part, I wouldn't really worry about storms. It's going to be warm and windy. High pressure is the name of the game. If you live along the plateau, the Tennessee-Kentucky border, maybe a better idea to kind of stay a little bit more weather alert. And if anything were to change whatsoever, obviously I'll keep you posted on that. Join me on social media and the East Tennessee Weather app, because if something were to change crazily enough, I would send a push alert out like I sent a push alert out this morning. Does your app cover West Tennessee? Yes, it does, Deborah. It covers the entire country. So now that you asked that, before we get to work with the holidays of the day, it is time to do another teaching moment. For those that are asking the questions, I like to teach as much as possible. So when you open up the East Tennessee Weather app, this is what you will see. Here's what you do. If you're traveling across the country and like driving on the roads, just make sure that you go to your notifications or your location services on your phone and allow GPS location services. Turn that on. You can turn it off when you're back at home if you want to turn it off. But when you're traveling, turn that location services on because you'll be notified no matter where you're traveling to. But If you have specific locations around the country that you want to monitor, grandparents, parents, kids, grandkids. I literally walked somebody through yesterday who asked me on the app yesterday. I said, I'm following my grandkids in Memphis. How do I follow them with your app? I let them know. So here we go. Click the little tiny plus sign. It's a little tiny plus sign. See my mouse at the top of the screen? Right below your location. If you click that little plus sign, it'll take you to this area. Then you click this plus sign, add a location. Click on that. You can type in a specific address, a town, a county. I don't know if you can do a state, like generally a state, but you can do counties if you just want the whole county. So then you put that in there. Here's all the alerts that you can get. So you can just allow all the alerts to be on there, or you can just select severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, and that's it if you don't care about anything else. So you can modify the app to do exactly what you want. It is set to give you all the alerts. Then you'll get push notifications from anywhere in the country for that specific location. I.e., for instance, I have a lot of UT parents that live out of town. Their kids go to UT. Anytime I send a push alert for East Tennessee, or a tornado warning, or severe thunderstorm warning, or a winter storm warning, whatever it may be, gets posted for East Tennessee, if they live in Michigan, they get that alert. So if you live here and you want to keep an eye on a specific location, say in West Tennessee or anywhere in the country, you will get notified on the East Tennessee weather app for that part of the country while you're sitting on your couch watching TV here in East Tennessee. It is a wealth of weather information. It is a severe weather company that designed this app. You get past, current, and future radar. So if you have travel plans, here's the interactive radar. Not only do you get that, but you can get little storm skits as well, giving you an idea of what the storm is doing. Gives you all the information on what's going on with that storm system itself. But as I mentioned, let's take you to Nashville right there in the center of the screen. It gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. Oops. And then you can click on any location and get that little alert to the bottom right-hand side. If you click on that, it'll let you know what the alert is. But if you push play, of course, it's not going to do it right now because I'm trying to show it to you and I'm on my computer. If you push play, there it is. It's going to give you past future cast or past radar of 2 hours, pause, and then give you a future cast of 2 hours. Of course, it's not working right now, but let's see if it works now. Either way, it'll work on your cell phone. Got a lot of things going on in the computer. And then a quick tip and trick. Click on the orange 10 in the top left-hand side of the screen. That takes you back to the homepage. And of course, you can always keep an eye to the sky with live weather cameras and the forecast daily updates that I do 3 times a day. Whew, lots going on, but it is time to dance, my friends. If you're new to the program, it is just about 6:30, and it's time to get to work with the national holidays of the day. Before we do so, though, we want to give a big shout out to Clinton, Tennessee this morning in Anderson County, a live look there in downtown Clinton. I got a live camera in downtown Clinton right now and a lot more coming on board. So check out those live weather cameras if you so choose to. They're also on YouTube as well. All right, let's talk about those national holidays for the day today. Of course, it is April 3rd. Where is the year and month going already? Oh my goodness, it's just flying right by. We're celebrating birthdays and events, of course. It's National Film Score Day. Ooh. Any old schoolers out there remember scoring some film or actually, doing anything like that? Can you imagine? It's long enough to edit films and videos. Can you imagine scoring the films with actual real film? Just insane to me. It's National Burrito Day. I love me a good old burrito, smothered, covered. Wrong restaurant, but you know what I mean. The saucier, the messier, the better, in my personal opinion. And it's not Tuesday, it's Thursday, but we'll do Burrito Thursday today. It's National Find a Rainbow Day. Ah, whatever that rainbow may be, whether it's one in the sky or the rainbow in your eye. The things I say sometimes I don't understand. All right, it's National Chocolate Mousse Day. Anybody like chocolate mousse? And it's National Tweed Day. I should have worn my tweed jacket. I did not. It's dirty. I need to get it dry cleaned. That's all the national holidays we have for the day today. Moving right along. Lots of folks need to hit the road here this morning. If you're just now joining and tuning in, I hope you have a great day, by the way. Of course, if you are joining us on the app, when we wrap things up, I'll send you back to the 24-hour weather channel so you can catch the latest forecast, or, of course, just click on daily forecast weather updates, and hopefully some of you are watching right there front and center from the app itself. Good morning, Tootie. How are you this morning? The shorts are out, and they are staying out. I'll leave a sweatshirt out. And tan those legs, Steven. Tan those legs, my friend. What is Mother Nature on this year? Seriously, John. Nice for a lunch picnic outside, as long as you don't get blown away. Absolutely. Oh, there we go. We got you covered, Katrina. Are we looking for rain Saturday? We have a Jeep meet early in the afternoon. Nope, no rain on Saturday. Should be just fine. Hopefully you caught all that when I walked you through the forecast. And good morning, Justin Long, joining us from the Cumberland Gap, a beautiful part of East Tennessee. And by the way, Justin, I want to get my family up there to do some hiking. I've heard it's absolutely gorgeous up there, and I've yet to take a hike at the Cumberland Gap. So, Justin, tell me to take a hike so I can just force myself to go take a hike up there. Too warm for tweets, says Katrina. That is the truth. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. No traffic issues out there this morning. Everything's running smoothly so far. It is 6:32. Checking that time, so hopefully you don't run late here this morning. Thanks for joining me here on Wake Up with Witcher this morning. It's going to be another windy day. Not a lot of storms today, and really not a lot of storms over the next couple of days, but we will see storms fire back up as we get into our Sunday, as the cold front finally pushes its way to the east. Yes, sir. Otto, hit me up, Mike at EastTNWeather.com. If you know the person at the airport, I'd love to have more cameras at some of the local airports around town. Got a lot of folks reaching out that use that KMNV Madisonville Monroe County Airport a lot, and they were very thankful that I have a camera right there at the airport. Really helps general aviators out as well. Don't forget to scan the QR code on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, or just log on to EastTNWeather.com. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, I promise you, it is going to be your #1 weather app. I make that promise to you. That's a lofty promise, isn't it? Trust me, I talk to people every day. I use the app every day. My kid uses the app every day. You should use. Listen, if my 9-year-old's using the app every day, you should use the app. Don't forget that I'm also on Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, and all social media. I sure hope you have a great day, my friends. We'll see you back here for Wake Up with Witcher tomorrow morning. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short.